Hey, guys, settle down, please. Thank you. All right, what are we doing today? Just talking about the syllabus. There are two things I need done about them. The syllabus form, which some of you may have already started or may have already seen from resources in Canvas, and the syllabus quiz will be due when we return on the 23rd after break. You can complete it today, but I don't want it to be missing throughout break and causing you unnecessary stress, okay? Your outcomes, you understand the course expectations. I want you to especially pay attention to my grading and my late policy, because the other things we've already gone over, generally speaking, those are the two most important things I want you to know about, okay? The assignments today, like I mentioned, the syllabus form you want to do as soon as possible. These are worth process points as I grade over break. And then the actual syllabus quiz itself is not due until Monday the 23rd. And project number 1, if you have not submitted yet, is due today by midnight. So copy and paste your code in there. I can check it if you'd like. Just got a couple little loose ends to tie up today. Okay? I'm actually going to go a little early on tracking your progress. You know you're getting it today by understanding the course expectations, especially the late policy. You understand your role in the classroom as a student. You know how to share the space. And most importantly, you know what is acceptable and unacceptable. Okay? So let's take a look at my syllabus, which I'm going to full screen and zoom in right here. This is the exact document in Canvas as well as in front of you. And there are a couple main sections like objectives, prerequisites, materials, my course expectations, and stuff about dual credit. Okay? We'll go through this really fast. I prefer, if you're going to reach out to me, that you use Outlook. You use your district email me, because Canvas messages sometimes don't go through and are missing out on some stuff like attaching files or sharing things a little bit more easily. Okay? I use any pronouns. You cannot get them wrong. Most people prefer he, him. That's totally fine. I like a he, they on occasion, but any pronouns are good for me. You're in room 2207. If your parents or guardians need to reach me, the phone number is right there, and my office hours are flex time most frequently. You as web design students will learn how to construct websites using current HTML, CSS, JS, JavaScript, imaging, graphic design, and developing environmental applications. Students will do market research on target populations to propose site design. And you will also survey, create, design, and test the websites, as well as produce personal works for yourselves and for others. By the end of this course, you will use up-to-date HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, both raw and in framework, to deploy and create interactive pages on the secure web. We're going to go over the command line a little bit later. We're going to think about design thinking to user interface and user experience, and then maintaining and managing your websites with consistency and intention. Something I've mentioned, you do not need any prior coding or programming experience for this course. You need to know how to use a computer, which you all have practice with thus far, and you'll continue to know how to use an integrated development environment, an IDE, or other platforms, and the course. Materials. No additional materials are required, but I do recommend if you've got a spare flash drive or a spare SD card, 16 gigabytes or more, it helps to have a local backup of all your sites, so you don't have to rely on OneDrive. I keep one in my backpack and on my keys, so I've always got some spare stuff right here. Like I mentioned, OneDrive storage space is provided, and we host and deploy with free and approved web pages, GitHub, and Vercel. For your entry task, my general course expectations are to be respectful and be aware, stay responsible for your learning, give your best every day, arrive on time and prepared to class, and then be kind. Now, the longest part of this syllabus are the specific course policies and expectations. I will not read all of them. I will focus on a couple really important ones, okay? Number 1, hate, discrimination, or prejudice of any kind will not be tolerated. Should any of the aforementioned occur, both parents and administrators will be promptly informed and involved. Full stop. You guys know about the phone box. You've been good about that. Stay good about that. You're expected to try your best and to make an effort. Remember, the process is more important than the product. And I want to emphasize that questions are welcomed and encouraged at any time. Sometimes I will be in the middle of delivering a lesson. So if you can wait until I finish talking to the class in general before you ask your question, that works a little bit better for both of us. But I'm never going to say, don't ask me any questions. Don't ask for a clarity, right? I want you to be asking questions because these resources are always accessible and should be utilized as much as you can. This is a big one. Respect the room, the computers, your coworkers, and yourself. You'll notice here, eating and drinking are not technically permitted. And the reason I haven't said anything so far is because we haven't gone over the syllabus. My compromise is if you're going to have a drink in here, it must seal. So cans do not seal. Fast food plastic cups, coffee cups, do not seal. They must have a screw-on lid, like a water bottle or like a clasp type situation, okay? And if you are going to eat in here, I would first say, try not to. And then I would second say, you must be away from your keyboard when you are eating. Because we don't want to get gamer gunk in all the computers that 4 other classes have to share after you, okay? Hands on your own devices, complete projects by the due date, and we'll talk pass-fail contracts after quarter 3. Because this is a CTE, Career and Technical Education course, we want this to be as close to the real-world environment as possible, so treat this classroom like your work environment where you practice, and then eyes and ears on me when I'm teaching. Questions are encouraged. Don't hesitate to ask, but eyes and ears on while I'm teaching. Honesty, we've got something specific in the Skyline Student Handbook for details on how I will handle academic dishonesty. And I do want to go over this AI disclaimer right now so you can see where I'm at when it comes to AI. You are expected as the students to be the sole creators of your web pages. This course will have no information about the creation or development of AI tools, such as large language models. Do not expect them to be covered in this course. If I suspect that a web page was created in total with 0 student contribution completely, I will first talk to you. Then, if it's true that AI has created what I've asked you to create, I will do an informational referral with the grounds of academic dishonesty. I have to reiterate that you, as the students, are expected to be the sole creators of your web pages, okay? I know that ChatGPT can do it. I want to know that you can do it. That's more my priority. AI is a useful tool for explaining concepts, clearing confusion, or collecting resources, but it will not be the creator of your web pages. And for each project or assignment that uses AI beyond an informational or explanatory purpose, for example, if AI is creating aspects of your site or creating specific functions of your site, you will need to do an AI disclaimer, which we'll worry about a little bit later. Before I move on, does the AI disclaimer make sense? Cool. So also, for example, if you are playing a game right now, we have game time after this. Let me finish what I'm talking about before you play solitaire or before you play the block breaker, okay? Thank you. All right, I'm going to move on to late work. Late work is due by the due date posted in Canvas, the first one. So for example, project number 1, due today. Syllabus quiz, due the 23rd. Syllabus form, because it's not technically an assignment, complete as soon as you can, okay? It is important to keep up with work due to the project-based nature of the course. The way that I operate is very similar to Miss Lutz, if you've taken a class with Miss Lutz before. So late assignments, whether they are 5 minutes late or 2 weeks late, automatically have a 20% penalty. This is manually adjusted for 504 and IEP accommodations. So if you have extra time, I will change in the gradebook later. Sometimes it beats me to it, but I will ensure that your accommodations are met. I do have to do it manually, because I'm one person, sometimes it takes a bit, but it will be done. I can promise you that. Is that clear? Also on that, automatic zeros will go into effect starting on the 23rd. And like I mentioned, it's manually adjusted for IEP and 504. Before I move on to the accepted or the late work accepted dates, is that first part clear? Yeah? Any questions? Okay, love it. I will accept late work to the nearest quarter end. So for example, anything assigned between February 23rd and April 17th can be turned in up until April 17th, because that's when quarter 3 ends. However, if you try to turn in something from March on April 20th, I will not accept it because it is past quarter 3's end. Is that clear? Okay, some of these are parts of your syllabus quiz, so I would definitely refer back to this video that I'm recording a little bit later. 2 main lockup dates. There are 2 major lockup dates when I stop accepting late work. The first one is April 17th, when quarter 3 ends. And then the second one is June 5th, when semester 2 grading ends. At that point, we'll be pretty much done with our finals. We'll be putting final touches on our actual finals, and you'll have all your classwork finished up by then. Okay, before I move on to seating, attendance, and absence, is the late work policy clear? This is also for IEP and 504 accommodations. However, I'm required to go off the most current IEP or 504. So you might need to talk with your case manager in case that these dates don't work out. Okay? And I'll also confer with them a little bit later. Are we good on late work? Okay, let's talk seating, attendance, and absence. I will take attendance as close to the starting bell as possible. If you are later than 5 minutes, you are tardy in the Skyward. And if you are later than 10 minutes, you are late. And that refers to the Skyward, or not Skyward, Skyline tardy policy. So after 5 minutes, you're tardy. After 10 minutes, you're late. So if you get here within 5 minutes, I will mark you present. As you know, there are no assigned seats unless we need to for behavior or for accommodations. They are first come, first served, but we have a lot of options in this class because it's a little bit smaller. I will make all materials, notes, and presentations available by the end of the school day. And if you are absent, you should check modules and the weekly agendas archive and with me in order to get caught up. That will always be where materials live. Okay? Before I move on to grading, seating, attendance, and absence makes sense. Love it. Grading. So, this course consists of small projects and assignments, discussions like your entry task, critique, feedback, and improvement cycles, and then larger projects. There are no traditional tests or quizzes in this course. There are 3 grading categories, 50% projects, 20% process, and 30% final, and there will be no assigned homework for this class. Any work completed at home is either your choice, extra practice, or something that I suggest to you in order to catch up. And then I post grades once a month towards the end of the month. Okay? So you'll have 5 major grade posts this second semester. Here's an example of what some projects, some process, and some final assignments could look like. Here's my grading scale, A through F, no pluses or minuses. So an A is from 100 or more to 90, a B is from 89 to 80, a C is from 79 to 70, etc., down to anything less than a 59% is an F. Okay? Completing assignments and your grades are your responsibility. You must take the initiative to find out what was covered on a day you were absent and make up any necessary required work. The last thing I will share with you before we start playing Minecraft and before we start worrying about syllabus quizzes and stuff. This course is a CTE dual credit course approved by Bellevue College. So long as you get a B or higher, you can earn college credit for this class. This is a presentation that the counselors will talk about a little bit later. There is a non-refundable $50 annual fee, and that is a question for your counselors if there is a possibility of getting that waived. I do not know anything about that because all of this happens through the counseling department, okay? You must register for dual credit while you are enrolled in web design. So if you are interested in paying $50 for a college credit instead of $300 to $500 plus for a college credit, I highly recommend it. There'll be more information about this a little bit later. But do know that by the end of the semester, you can earn college credit, and I'll make sure that those boxes are checked should you want that. Okay, this is the link to the syllabus form. It's ensuring that you have heard everything that I'm saying and understand the important parts of what I'm saying, which the syllabus quiz will also demonstrate. Before we open up Minecraft, before we finish up the PowerPoint, are there any questions? Are we good? You are welcome to... Oh, sorry, Tony, you have a question. My favorite color is purple, but I have a lot of favorite colors. That question, if you get it wrong, I will manually adjust the points because it's optional. That's a new way of setting up Canvas that I don't know if I did right. So we'll see. If it says you got it wrong, if Canvas tells you you got it wrong, I'll fix it. That's just for fun. Okay, any other questions? All right, cool. I'm going to quickly wrap up the PowerPoint, and we're going to play Minecraft with the rest of the period, okay? Why are we doing this? To have consistency, so you know what we're all being held to. You know what I expect from you. You should know what you can expect from me, and we're all on the same page here. Hugo, you have a question? You have a question?
I did the quiz thing. It says for the grading categories.
Yeah.
It said I put 30% for final and 20% for process.
Did it say it's wrong? Okay. Shoot, hold on. Let me check. That could be my fault because I needed to change it up from previous semesters. Let me look at it real quick. Projects 50, process 30. Oh, yep. Okay. You can apply edits to the copy. Okay, so I'm going to edit a copy. That is my bad. I will fix that. Because again, this is my first time using this new Canvas quiz-based material. So let me save that real quick. And that should now be correct. Okay, now it is correct. Okay, hey, if you correctly answered the grading categories for this semester, I will auto-adjust the points in Canvas. Okay, but moving forward, it's correct. I fixed it. Okay, I know, I'm almost done. Last thing, why are we doing this? There's a community agreement, much like a constitution and much like your personal, professional, educational relationships, knowing who's doing what and why. Like, for example, on a syllabus, laying everything out gets everybody on the same page. Okay? It's clear communication. You understand the boundaries of this course, of what I accept and what I don't accept, and you understand what potential consequences could occur should you not hold up your end of the bargain. Okay? And then your exit task after Minecraft is to summarize my late policy. You can see that on Canvas. We'll do that a little bit later. Okay, you guys ready to play Minecraft? All right, let's do it. Let me make sure my video saves. I'll turn off the blocking plan right now.